How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Well, I'm in my work clothes. Alas, I just got cut for the rest of the day, basically like at lunchtime, because it's just not enough work, which, you know, really raises an argument for living in a van. Thank goodness, at least for me. And the weather has taken a huge uptick. Not that it was like real bad, but it's very warm out today. So I think instead of moping around and bitching about the fact that I don't have any work to do, we're gonna go make some work for ourselves, because there's some things I could do around the tiny home. Just gotta get changed out of the work clothes into something a little bit more comfortable, and then go find a spot to do said work. Not that it's like crazy work, but hey, it'll be fun. Little mini upgrades. Let's get to it. And sometimes it's nice to not just immediately rush to things. Take a minute and lounge around your tiny home in your underwear. Gotta cool down. Just because it was only half a day doesn't mean I didn't break a sweat. It's my tiny home, I built it, I'll do what I want. Okay, so on our way to find a spot, but I just checked the app on my phone that monitors my solar panels, and it's like clear blue skies right now. My panels were in direct sunlight, and they were only pulling like 70 watts, and there's 3 panels up there that are 100 watts each. Now, I'm not starving for power. My batteries are topped up. I don't have a lot of power demand in Lucky, so maybe that's why they're pulling low watts. I don't really know the specifics about how solar panels work, but I'm gonna pull into this gas station, and we're gonna get up there with a squeegee and give them a little wash. They're not like filthy or anything, but it's definitely been a hot minute since I've done that. So let's give that a shot. And just for curiosity's sake, I want to see if that makes a difference to how much watts they pull in from the sun. Here we go. It's a big house. I just hit the curb. Yes, excuse me. Unless you plan on being my chauffeur, move your butt. Thank you, darling. Cute butt, Panty. Cute butt. Nope. And now I made it much worse. They're only pulling 22 watts, and they're cleaner. So there goes that theory. I'm wondering if it's because I just don't need it. You know what I mean? Like, it's in its float cycle of charging the batteries right now. So maybe. I just thought that the reading would be like, oh, the solar panels are pulling in. I know they're never gonna pull in 300 watts, but something over 150 would be sure nice to see. I just thought they would do that when they're in direct sunlight, and then the charge controller just allots it as it needs it. Maybe it just prevents how much they're bringing in. So maybe once we find a place to hunker down, we'll just like turn on everything in Lucky that runs off house batteries and see if that changes. Again, just out of curiosity, be nice to know. Okay, down at Fish Creek Park, as per usual. I just double checked the app again, it's at 69 watts. I am going to have some lunch, bagged salad, shocking. I'm getting old. And while I do that, I'm gonna turn on both fans. I'm gonna plug in my solar generator to my inverter, turn the inverter on, and just let Lucky power it all. Let's get that set up and have a bite to eat before moving on to our projects. So this is what it sounds like in here right now. It's awesome. It's kind of like eating lunch in a wind tunnel. wish. But I got my wish. 151 watts being pulled in by the solar panels right now. So that's exactly how it works. The battery needs to have a drain on it in order for the panels to push higher watts through it. I mean, when I say it now, it makes sense. So I probably should have just known, but hey, the more you know. Also, for like dessert, because I feel I earned it for only eating a salad, I got this in the mail. This is a caramel bar that is white chocolate. Well, it's a golden blend of caramelized white chocolate. I got it in the mail from Andrew. Thank you so much, Andrew. This chocolate made it all the way here from New Zealand. I've never seen this in Canada anywhere. I mean, I also don't look that hard, but I'm pretty sure this is not something that we have here. And just the fact that it came all the way from New Zealand and it's not poison is kind of nice. Thanks, Andrew. Can't see anything under my bed. It's so dark and scary. Where did I put it? Ooh, all right. Wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Yes, it's a piece of wood. So if you're fairly new to the channel, you won't know what this is. But if you went back and watched my build videos when I was first putting Lucky together, like before I was even calling her Lucky, my build was done from repurposed furniture. Repurposed furniture. Stuff that I had left over when I moved out of my apartment. My drawers over here are from an old dresser of my grandma's. A lot of this is leftover MDF board. This top up here was like bits of an entertainment unit. Hi, Stella. How are you? She said, Dad, why are you talking to yourself again? I'm really starting to worry about you. It's okay. I promise I'm fine. How are you? Hi. Okay. Shall we move on? And that was like the whole point of my build, was to do it on a tight budget and not have to buy a lot of the supplies. So I repurposed a TV stand, a bookcase, like I said, a dresser, a scrap MDF board and whatnot. The water station that you're sitting on right now was 2 IKEA dressers, like those Malm 2-drawer dressers, and that's what I built that out of. This is actually a piece of leftover desk, I believe, and the desk I was actually using as my workbench for the entire build of Lucky. I was using it to put the wood on to saw and whatnot. You know what a workbench is. And I've had it with me in the van under the bed for almost a year now. And my intent was always to make another fold-out countertop? Table? Let's go with table. Just like I have on the other side of my water station. Here, I'll cut to it real quick for you. You see, pretty straightforward. Fold-out table. I wanted to do was to have this as one on the opposite side to really sort of turn the water station into like a Swiss Army knife. How many things could it do? So I could then have a additional surface to like cook on or something here in the van. And all I needed was the arms to make it a foldable shelf. Well, Joseph, one of my awesome subscribers, actually sent me those foldable arms Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Bye-bye. He sent them to me in the mail. Where are they? Here. Here's one. Here's two. So this is them. The adjustable arms, foldable shelf makers. Right? Surface up here. Click this. Slides back down. And so my plan is to mount it here on this door. It'll hang down like this, and then I can fold it up. So I'm going to attach these foldable arms to the shelf, and then we'll see if I actually attach it yet, because obviously I don't particularly want that to be my surface. I would much rather have it be this vinyl wrap, just like I have here and over on this side. Yikes, what a mess. I actually did order myself a small roll of vinyl wrap off Amazon. It's like 10 bucks or something like that. It should arrive later today, but I'd rather get ahead of this. And then if we can get it mounted to the door and just slap the vinyl wrap on later tonight, that'd be great. When I first put the wrap on this counter and that counter, I mean, it's sticky, but I also used spray adhesive. I don't think I'm going to worry about that this time. And when I mounted the adjustable arms on the other side of the water station for the one that flips out on the outside, I attached it with screws and construction adhesive. Like, that's the thing with my build. Everything in here, I used PL Maximum construction adhesive, and I can't complain about it at all. Literally nothing, no joint in this van that I made has fallen apart in almost a year. But that construction adhesive is very expensive. I don't feel like spending that kind of money on a tube of it for just these two arms and then having it kicking around Lucky for who knows how long, probably till it dries out and then I gotta throw it away. Talk about a waste. So I've got some silicone in the back. I'm just gonna use that because silicone cures pretty darn well, and that should probably be enough. And hey, if it's not and it falls off, then we'll know to go get some construction adhesive. But again, this is all about, like everything, keeping it on a budget. This is giving me flashbacks to when I was doing my build and just when things wouldn't quite go right, you'd want to give up and call it a day, and you just end up powering through it anyway. It's the sort of determination you kind of need when you're going to do something this ridiculous and do it yourself. Hi, this is super fun. I think I have just the thing for this. Hold the phone. Safety goggles. I was actually sent these by a subscriber after they were very upset with me for doing Amber's oil change without any goggles on. Thank you, but oh, if they only knew how many oil changes had already been done. Oh, why is my hand bending that way? It's done. So, you gotta fold out countertop, shelf, table, whatever you want to call it. I'm just letting the silicone cure a little bit, and then I'm going to put the last two screws in on this side, and then obviously it'll look a little nicer once I get that vinyl wrap on it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know, this was like a brainchild idea I had right near the end of my build, where I was like, I literally have this scrap piece of wood left over. It's the perfect size, maybe perfect size, for a cooking surface. And I mean, it is directly beneath the fan, so it would be an ideal place to cook on my little jet boil stove, right? So yeah, I'm gonna get this place cleaned up a little bit. Actually, I should point out, like most things on my build, this isn't a professional build, it's a DIY build. It's not pretty, it's not the best, but I can wipe that off a little bit more. This stuff underneath here, I'm not gonna worry about as much, because I mean, it'll be covered by the table when it's down. And it's just like, these are the things I used to get hung up on, perfection, and I've gotten worlds better after building this van and accepting things just as long as they work. They don't have to be beautiful. Don't judge a book by its cover. Wait, I don't know. All right, we're just gonna have to take a little pause for a while. Gonna go pick up my little girl. She's done daycare now. This is pretty much when I would be done with work on any normal day. So we will catch up once that part of my evening is done. See you soon. And we are back at it. And wouldn't you know it, in true Amazon fashion, which I guess I can't really say because usually they're pretty spot on, they tried to deliver my order like 5 minutes after the UPS store closed. So now I'll probably never get the vinyl wrap. Hopefully that's an exaggeration. Anyways, we're going to test out our new tabletop. I'm gonna make myself some snacks, you'll see. But before that, we're gonna stop and grab a Slurpee, because if the weather is going to continue to insist to be this nice, I must insist I continue to have tasty summer treats. So let's get her done and find a place to hunker down and take in some entertainment. We are just going to keep it simple tonight. We are going to do some chili and chips with some sour cream thrown right into the chili. I should have gotten cheese. I'm actually out. That would have made this that much better. But I forgot. So, let's see here. There we go. Get your stove. Not too bad. Let's get a pot. I mean, like anything that's new that you add to your home, it's really freaking cool the first time you use it, for sure. It seems solid enough. Some of those things you really want to make sure it's solid, and you really hope that it stays up, because if this drops once the pot's full of chili, yikes! It's not for you. So yeah, this could be like a meal. I'm also treating it just like movie snack because of the chips and whatnot. Because I've got I'm finally getting caught up on a show that I've been putting off for far too long. Started it last night, and it's, needless to say, got me hooked. Although I knew it would. So I'm just gonna make some chili and chips and kick back on the bed and watch some TV, I guess. Weird to say in 2022. Or in a van. I also received these fairy lights from a subscriber who's actually on my Patreon as well, and I made a joke on one of my like lens clips a few weeks back about how when I make my coffee in the morning I have to turn all the other power off in Lucky, so I dramatically turned off all of the lights. So that's amazing Patreon supporter said, well, here, put these fairy lights up. They're operated by battery, and then you don't have to make coffee in the dark. And at first I was like, well, having fairy lights, what am I, a teenage girl? But also, it's kind of cool, and they're a nice light because they're not white. They're like a yellow amber sort of color. Well, not amber at all, actually. Am I dying? Nice little yellow. And it's kind of like one of those like van life cliches. Like, you kind of have to have fairy lights in your van, don't you? Isn't that a requirement? So we'll see if I can get them strung up tonight. It's a long strand. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we'll see. Let's get this chili cooked and get eaten, because I'm hungry. Where's my pink Slurpee? Don't burn your chili. Stir it, don't burn it. That's enough light to make coffee by, for sure. cool. I'll see why it's a cliche. It's kind of pretty. This is another reason I'm very quickly starting to fall in love with this time of year. I've been down here almost every night, well, at least this week and last week before the camping trip. And it's so nice down here when it's calm, there's no wind, it's not hot, it's not freezing, and mostly everybody has cleared out. In case of tonight, there's a couple people left. I mean, their vehicles are there. I don't know where they are. Probably off in the woods getting up to some shenanigans. It's a really nice place to be this time of day. Sunset's around 7:30. It's calm. There's no bugs to worry about. It's one of those things that I wouldn't do if I wasn't living in my van. I'd be at my apartment or house or whatever, probably playing video games or watching Netflix. I mean, to be fair, we just ate dinner in the tiny home while we were watching Netflix. But I was doing it down in this park, which is still, to this day, very freaking cool. I sure hope the fact that I got cut from work today isn't a sign of things to come. We will continue to look at it glass half full. It gave me the opportunity to make this vlog. So I will say thank you for watching and hanging out with me. Got some upgrades done to the van. I think that little table will work quite nicely, and it'll look a lot better once I get that vinyl wrap in, for sure. Huge thank you to my Patreon supporters, that community over there. You guys are awesome. I appreciate everything you do for me, the motivation you guys give me, the feedback. It's awesome. I can't say thank you enough. I'm gonna leave this vlog here. Next up, we are going on the second of the final 3 camping trips this coming weekend. Going out there with Happy Coffee Vanlife, Destination Vanlife, and of course, Lindsay. Sadie should be making an appearance around the second day, I would assume, as well, for those that might be missing her presence. And until that, I want everybody to just go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourselves, most importantly, be positive. And I will see you all in that next one. Let's not forget you. Say bye-bye, ladies.